What's good, y'all? So I'm gonna give y'all the rundown of me going through the biggest heartbreak of my life, dropping out of school, losing family and friends, and this is 6 months later. So, going through all these things, man, I didn't know the value of life for real. I didn't intake the fact that I was blessed at that moment because I was so busy worrying about the worldly desires and the worldly surface of things of my life, all the pleasures that the world can't provide me with, other than doing deep diving with my soul, my spirit. You see, the world had this agenda and have this thing that us men have to follow, that, oh, we got to be strong, we got to keep going, which is true. As men, we got to keep pushing. But at the end of the day, as I always say, we too busy be focused on pouring into other people's cups while our cups is empty. And see, that's exactly what it was for me. And I reiterate that all the time because that's what I dealt with myself. I never put time aside to really pour into me. 6 months ago, I was lost. 6 months ago, I didn't have a sense of urgency to be a better man of myself, understanding the power that I have within me as a man, what I can conquer, what I can divide in my life. I always thought that a lot of things that I went through, it was unbearable. I used to think that it was unbearable. I used to think that it was things that I couldn't overcome. In reality, everything on this earth, as long as you are breathing, as long as you got air in your body, in your lungs, you are able to overcome anything. But I didn't have that. I didn't have that strength. I didn't have those abilities to think. I didn't have the mindset that I have now. You see, 6 months ago, I was so lost. I was so lost in the worldly feeling of being loved by somebody else, and also not being goal driven for real. I was goal driven to a certain extent, but I never really had the ambition or the urgency to achieve my goals and overcome my adversity that was handed to me, overcome the cause that I was dealt with, and you see, like, understanding this, right? The past 6 months, I have been through a lot of things, and I have overcome a lot of things, and I have been God has blessed me with the education that I have now on life, not just me, but life, life itself. And I look at life totally differently because, life is it's what you make it. And so if you just walking around with life and you making it miserable, you making it unbearable, you making it hard to live, that's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? That's how you gonna feel. That's how you gonna think. That's how you gonna move. It's all on you. And 6 months ago, I didn't have nothing in me. I didn't have nothing in me to push me. I didn't have nothing in me to keep going. I didn't have nothing in me to go out there and conquer. You see, that's why I'm so big on self-development, because I have came so far from 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I was so weak, man. And I'm gonna keep speaking on it because I don't want y'all to, young men, young dudes, I don't want y'all to do what I did. I don't want y'all to fall short how I fell short 6 months ago. But you see how fast things can change in the span of 6 months, because I'm a whole different person. I'm in a whole different mindset, whole different atmosphere. It's a lot of things I won't tolerate. It's a lot of things I'm not going for. It's a lot of room that I still gotta grow in. It's a lot of things I still gotta grow in, most definitely. We all got things to grow in, no matter how far you go. No matter how far you get into your journey, you're gonna always have to grow. It's gonna be always a new level you had to achieve, new level you had to pass through. You know what I mean? So 6 months, man, 6 months. You see, time is at an essence, man. We are all on borrowed time. So if you just waste your time, you know what you need to do. All it takes is 6 months. You can change your life. You know what I mean? You dedicate yourself to something give yourself 6 months and dedicate yourself to it. Your life will change. Your mindset will change. Your perception on life will change. You will value things more. You will value your respect, your love for yourself. You will value your time that you have. Because it's not promised, bro. A lot of men, right? They just A lot of dudes is complacent and they cool where they at. You see, 6 months ago, just imagine, right? Hypothetically speaking, just imagine if I never woke up to myself. If I never woke up to the problems that I had 6 months ago. You know? See, it's all about tapping into your spirit, tapping into yourself, that part of yourself where you just don't know what to do, but you're willing to keep digging and digging until you figure it out. You know, that's what real men do. That's what real conquerors do. That's what real strong-minded individuals do. Again, it starts with the mind, and then it goes to the body. Because if you're not strong up here, you will never be strong down here. You could be strong physically, worldly wise. You could be strong bicep wise. You could have muscle, but you're weak. And I'm gonna keep saying that. Don't just think you could go to the gym and be weak-minded and think you could get through that gym session without having a strong mindset. Don't think you could go to the gym and get through all your reps without having that strong mindset that you could get through, having yourself to push you. Stop relying on other people to get you to your full potential of yourself. You know, because a lot of people think that a lot of people need to go to the gym with somebody. You know, it's cool to go with somebody. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to a point where you feel like you have to go with somebody else, you're lacking. You're lacking. And that's what life. Stop depending on having another vessel, another person with you for you to get to your full potential. It's okay to have a helping hand. It's cool that it's a plus to have a helping hand. But if you ain't got yourself, you ain't got nothing. If you just relying on another person to build you up, you're lacking in life, bro. And that's what life itself. You can't. And that was my problem, right? You see, I'm gonna break it down for y'all, right? So as I said, 6 months ago, I suffered one of the biggest breakups of my life. Around that time, 6 months ago was around that time, I was in a breakup, and it hit hard for me because I really love this girl, you know what I'm saying? She was my everything, right? But see, that's where I messed up at, because think about it. You could love a person to eternity, but if you don't love yourself more, you're gonna always fall short, how I did. Right, I love this girl more than life. My 6 months ago me, a year ago me would tell you himself, I love this girl more than myself. I love this girl more than life. You see, that's where you lose yourself at. That's where you mess up at as a man. That's where you mess up at. That's where you mess up at as a human being, as a person. You never supposed to love somebody more than you love yourself. It's nothing wrong with loving them to the core, loving them to the fullest. But you gotta love yourself more, because when situations occur like that where y'all break up or where y'all part ways or where y'all just not clicking no more, you lose yourself in the process, because you're embedding yourself all into this one person to where you don't have nothing for yourself. When they leave with you. They leave with you. So you just empty. You're lost. You already lost as it is with them. Imagine without them. You're nothing. So that's why loving somebody more than you love yourself is very risky. So again, I was loving this girl more than I love myself, you know. Very good girl, very beautiful, you know, loving my life, you know what I'm saying? Not to knock her down. There's nothing to knock her down about, but that's on my part. You see, that's how you separate boys from men, right? Because a boy will continuously sit and blame the woman for his doings, sitting and blaming the woman for what it is he lacked, what it is he was allowing in that situation. You see, a boy allowing himself to love that woman more than he loved himself. A man have boundaries. A man know how to separate the two. A man know how to distinguish whether or not he pouring too much into this person to where he forgetting about himself. You see, I didn't have that discernment to distinguish or differentiate the both of them, right? I didn't know how to differentiate how to love myself more and how to love me and then love her. You get what I'm saying? You can't be mad at somebody when they put themselves first. That's what they are supposed to do. You can't be mad when somebody love themselves more and they not going for the BS because they protecting themselves. That's what they supposed to do. You see, I lacked those things 6 months ago. 6 months ago, the way I'm talking now is ludicrous. It's crazy. 6 months ago, me would think I'm crazy right now, you know, because 6 months ago, me would think I'd be tripping. You know what I'm saying? 6 months ago, 6 months ago, me would think that I'm just chatting, I'm just trying to sound sweet. Nah, bro. When you really do some deep diving, deep searching into yourself, you realize these things. You look yourself in the mirror, you realize these things. Bro, what am I doing? I really was loving her more than I love myself. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then you wonder why you depressed. You wonder why you can't look yourself in the mirror. You wonder why you feel lazy. You wonder why you can't get out of bed. Cause you literally put all your energy, all of your might into this person. And you forgot about yourself. 6 months ago, me, man, that breakup hit me hard because of those things that I lack. I lack so much about myself. I lack masculinity. I lack discipline. I lack authority. I lack boundaries. All of these things that are very crucial and important for a man to have, I lacked. I lacked it. You know what I mean? But that's my fault. That's my fault. You see, you can't go around blaming nobody for your problems. Don't nobody care about your problems, bro. Instagram don't care about your problems. Twitter don't care about your problems. TikTok don't care about your problems. Your friends damn sure don't care about your problems. Your parents don't care about your problems. These people might really make you feel or believe that they care about your problems, but you're lowering your standards by believing that they care about your problems. They probably do care about your problems, but you don't care about your problems because you're too busy trying to find other people to care about them more than you care about them. That's where you mess up at, bruh. And see, these is all the things that I wish. Nah, I'm not even gonna say wish because we here now. You know, I never sit and dwell on the past. I never sit and beat myself up about the things that I can't control no more, or the things that I messed up at, or the situations that I could have did better in, or I could have handled differently. Who cares? It's months ago. It's years ago. It's decades ago. All we doing is reflecting on the good things about how far we have become, how far we have grown. And that's all I ever did from 6 months ago was grown mentally, physically, emotionally. My emotional intelligence is at its peak right now. It's tough. You know, something that I did not have. I wasn't intelligent in my emotions to where I didn't know how to control my emotions, you know. And when you hear these things about emotional intelligence and having control of them, it's not all about being a crybaby. It's not all about what on the surface level of what you think they might be. It's just all about conducting yourself in a situation where your emotions are involved or your emotions are required. You see, real men know how to control that. Real men know how to conduct themselves. Real men know how to walk away. Real men know how to pick their battles. Real men know when certain situations don't deserve their energy. Real men do that. Real men do that. Real men understand that. And sometimes you gotta go through these things. You gotta go through a hard breakup. You gotta drop out of school. You gotta lose everything to gain it back. You gotta go through all of these things to realize the bigger picture, bruh. Realize that this is bigger than me. Realize that this is why this is happening. For me to be in this position right now to make this video for y'all. Straight to college, right? See, even with college, I dropped out of college, right? Because I knew it wasn't for me. But you see where I grew at since then was because I let my loved ones around me peer pressure me into doing these things. You see, real men got that monk mode mindset. They know how to distinguish the difference in between what it is they want to do and what it is their parents or their loved ones want them to do. You see, 6 months ago, me, I was too busy focused on everybody else. I was too busy focused on other people's feelings, how other people felt about it, how other people thought about it, how other people would treat me. You know, I'm watching my surroundings, you know what I'm saying? Understand, right? All of these things that have been dealt to me 6 months ago, it changed my mindset. It changed my way of thinking. It changed my outview on life because I didn't know how to be strong with myself. I didn't know how to acquire the abilities to conquer and divide. I didn't know how to do that. I was okay with being complacent in my life. I was okay with that. I was okay with being broke. I was okay with struggling in every area in my life. I was okay with it. Why? Because I felt like it wasn't doing no real deep damage to myself. I felt like it wasn't really doing nothing to me right then and there. So I thought I was smooth. I thought I was cool. I thought that was okay. But you see, that's where I mess up at. That's where I lose it at. Because at the end of the day, you know, you the only person in control of your life, bro. That's all it boils down to. When you tap into your spiritual light, like your spiritual soul and how you feel in the inside, you gotta lead by example. You know what I mean? You gotta lead by example. You know, you're gonna lose friends. Like I said, I lost friends. I lost family, man. I dropped out of school. Something that I knew that once I did it, people was gonna look at me different. Once I did it, people wasn't gonna believe in the goals. People wasn't gonna believe in a mission. People was gonna downplay it. People was gonna instantly think I was gonna be a failure because I dropped out of school. Think about that. To all my people that's in college right now, the minute you feel like you don't want to go to school, the minute you feel like you want to drop out, I'm telling you, they're not gonna believe in you. They're not gonna believe in you because they want you to live the life that they couldn't. They think that you going to college is the only end result. But you see, I learned how to build strength within myself. If this something I don't want to do, I'm not going to do it. You know, and that's what society brainwashed us into thinking, that we have to do these things. These are things we have to do to become successful individuals, when that's not the case. That's not true. You know, and that comes with having individuality within yourself, loving yourself, prioritizing yourself, realizing that this is your life. This is what you're going to do with yourself, not nobody else. You can't let nobody else dictate your life. You can't, bro. Because once you do that, you will be miserable. You're living for the next man, the next woman. You know, these are the things I didn't know 6 months ago. I knew when it come to college, I knew it to a certain extent, but I didn't know it on this at this point. I didn't know it at this longevity of things. I didn't know it at this point in time. You know, I learned how to value my happiness. I learned how to value me. 6 months ago, I lacked. I didn't know how to do this life thing. I didn't know what life really consists of. You know, but I sat with myself. And I really thought about it, bruh. This is me. This is my life. I'm not finna sit down and be sad about a breakup. And I'm not finna be sad about losing friends and family. Family don't believe in me. Family don't want to talk to me. Family holding grudges against me for no reason. Who cares, bruh? You know? I'm worried about me and myself and my future only. Building my foundation up. Building my family up. Building my wealth up for my kids. My grandkids. My great-grandkids. And it's just like, dude, if I knew these things years ago, but you see, that's the thing, that's the beauty of it, right? Because I didn't know these things 6 months ago. You right? I didn't know these things. I didn't know how to acquire this mindset of thinking. But you see, that's the beauty of it, because life is all about trials and tribulation. Life is all about elevation and growing. You know, life is all about conquering. Life is all about elevating. So if I didn't know something a year or two ago, 6 months ago, that's perfect, because as long as I'm going up and not going down and not being in the middle, being stagnant, I'm doing my job. I'm reaping, I'm getting all the benefits of life. You know, that's why it's very important to be around like-minded people. Be around people that think like you, right? Because when you're around people that don't think like you, when you're around people that don't have the same mindset as you, and they don't want to elevate, you're stagnant. That's why me losing family and friends 6 months ago, I don't care. That's one of the least things that really bothered me, because they wasn't doing anything but hold me back. People was only using me. People was only benefiting off the goodness of my aura, my energy, what I brought to the table, all of these things. They was not bringing no benefit to my life at all. If anything, I was suffering. I didn't have no support from them, from in no aspect whatsoever. So me losing them didn't really do anything, but I did feel it to a certain extent, because when you went around a lot of people, but you see, you got to go through these things. You got to lose friends, right? But the friends thing is very important. You got to lose friends. These are all the things I learned in 6 months. You got to lose friends, because friends will either hinder you or they will elevate you, and some friends are just not meant to be a part of your journey. Some family not meant to be a part of your journey. Just don't just lean on the fact that y'all are blood, y'all are kin. Who cares? That don't mean anything. Some of the people that I'm locked in with the most are not blood. Blood is not thicker than water. It's just blood. It is what it is. We can't control who we related to. That don't mean we gotta be around them. That don't mean we gotta have a relationship with them. It is what it is, So, again, be around like-minded people. These are all things I learned. Me losing family and friends did not hurt me whatsoever. Again, when I was younger, maybe, when I was a little bit younger, I always wondered why my family was so divided. Why this person, that person don't want to be around me. Why when I get around these certain individuals, they act weird. It seems too much like I'm forcing myself to fit in with them. No, that's not not that type of party. So me losing family and friends didn't do nothing. It didn't hinder me at all. It didn't do nothing but elevate my conscience to knowing and to distinguish the difference between who's for me and who's not, who's meant to be around me and who's not, who deserves to have my energy around them and who doesn't. That's all it did to me. That's all it did. All it did was enhance and elevate my consciousness on, identifying who's meant to be around me, bruh. That's it. So me losing them was a plus. Me dropping out of college was a plus. That breakup was a plus, because without that breakup, I wouldn't be the man I am right now. I wouldn't be able to identify my boundaries within myself as a man. What it is I will tolerate, what it is I won't tolerate as a man. You see, you gotta go through these hardships, man. You gotta go through these things, bruh. You got to. And that's what I understand now, bruh. That's what I understand about myself now. Because I'm like, man, I really went through all of these things, bruh. And I have grown 6 months. And that's why now I understand. All it takes is 6 months, my guy. All it takes is 6 months. That's it. That's not a long time. But if you use your time wisely, them 6 months will literally benefit you for the rest of your life. And then another 6 months, and then another 6 months. Go on a 6-month run. No distractions, just working on yourself. It will pay off, and that's all I've been doing. And I got a lot of room to work with. I got a lot of room to grow in. I got a lot of stuff I got to elevate in. So this is not the end. Y'all will see another 6-month update in the future. 12 months, however much time I want to do it in. But I know, I just identified 6 months. I have really grown, man. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and again, time is at an essence. We are all on borrowed time. Think about it. It is November 2nd as I'm recording this. It was literally just July, August. If you really sitting and wasting your time, you are literally lost in life. Time is just moving. It's about to be 2025, bro. We have no more time to waste. We have no more time to lollygag and lay in the bed and just be bored and just be lazy. You gotta get up and dig and get in them gutters and get in them gutters, bro. Get into them gutters of life. Then you could get in the gutters of the pussy. Then you could get in the gutters of the coochie. You could do that later. But right now, we gotta get in the gutters of life. We gotta elevate. We gotta grow. We gotta conquer. We gotta monetize all this. We gotta do the things that we gotta do the things that we need to do now. So when we get older, we ain't gotta do too much. Use your young years wisely. Stop getting in them clubs. Stop partying. Stop getting instant gratification. You know, again, not saying not have fun, but again, if it's one thing that I learned in these past 6 months is instant gratification is it's taking years from your life. Every time you get instant gratification from something, that's a year of your life gone. That's a month of your life gone. Because think about it. The more you indulge into whatever that instant gratification, whether that's corn, whether that's partying, whether that's anything, whether that's playing a game, whatever it is, the more you indulge in it, the more you get addicted to it, the more time you gotta put into it, the more energy you gotta put into it, to where you done doing it. Then when you decide you wanna go focus your energy onto something more important, you have no more energy. You get what I'm saying? 6 months, man. Dealt with the biggest breakup, one of the biggest breakups, heartbreaks of my life. Lost family and friends, dropped out of college. I lost myself. 6 months later, I'm on the best run I ever been on. While I'm this age, while I'm 21. Since I turned 21, this is the best run I've been on, you know. Use your time wisely, bruh. Reflect on the things that you've grown from. Reflect on the things that you need to grow from. Reflect on the things that you need to work on about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the only one in control of your life. You the only one that could change the trajectory of how your life go, what lane your life go, whether it's gonna go good, whether it's gonna go bad. You know, you the only one that's gonna determine if you gonna get that big house. You know, you gonna get that car. Or you gonna be the one to determine if you gonna be homeless, you gonna be struggling paycheck to paycheck. You the only one in control of that. Stop looking around. Stop going to social media. Stop looking for other people and other beings and other energies and other entities to feel sorry for your sorrow. You are the only one in control of your life. Stop being a wussy, bro. Get it together, man. That's it. I'm gonna tell y'all law every time. 6 months. I'm gonna see y'all when it come to this topic. Give me a year and see how far I be. That's it, bro. We ain't finna, you know what I'm saying? It's too easy, bro.